What up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and we are here today, you guys, with another brand new review for Sistas. You guys, this is season 6, episode 22, and this is also the season finale. So next week starts the season 7 of Sistas, you guys. So before we go ahead and get into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other video on the channel and you guys aren't subscribed, do me a solid favor, you guys, to stop taking me out on this date and have me pay for it. At the end of it, you guys know the routine. You can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and sharing the video, you guys. And with that out of the way, without further ado, let's discuss the Sistas on BET, shall we? All right, you guys, like I said, next week, season 7 starts, and it's interesting because I saw the trailer for season 7, and I saw that we finally get a baby bump from Karen. I saw that Andy is wearing her real hair. Danny got braids. Karen is opening up the new salon. What else did I see? I saw somebody on a stretcher. Now, I do know that there are 2 guys that won't be returning next season. I know one of them is Preston, but I don't know who the third one is. The second one, I would love it if it was Hayden or Gary, one of those 2. But I saw in the trailer that Fatima was telling Andy that Gary is being investigated by the FBI. Danny, I think you got yourself into a whole lot of shit that you shouldn't have gotten yourself into because, oh boy, look like he got some kids. What else did I see in that trailer? I don't remember, but yeah. Season 7 starts next week. I am very reluctant to review, you guys, because I know season 7, we finally have the writers. I'm going to see what it gives because I can only give so much because I need the storylines to move and progress. If they move and progress, we'll stick with it. If it stays stagnant, which I don't think it will, but I hope it moves forward. But hey, this episode we open up with Danny. So Danny is still talking to Sabrina, right? And Sabrina is trying to calm Danny down, asking her is she okay. And Danny is visibly upset, but she's playing it off. And I'm like, Danny, just be honest. Like, me and Preston just broke up yesterday or this morning, and now he went and married Mindy. Like, be honest about your feelings. So she read the text message from Preston, and the text message said, you made your decision, I made my decision, and I am blocking you out of my life. I was like, well, damn, Danny. Fuck. So Sabrina's asking Danny about this date with, what's his name? Tony, right? She's saying, don't do anything that don't mess up anything, Danny, if you like him. Daniela, you don't know this man. Once again, I'm going to repeat and regurgitate that this man was eavesdropping on you from his mystery van, aka creeper van. But I guess you like that. I don't know why. For me, I wouldn't like it. So Sabrina is suggesting that they go on a double date. Danny is like, no. I was like, Danny, I think you should go on a double date. But hey, it is what it is. Andy. Remember, we ended last week's episode with Andy walking into the office and Penelope was there as well as Gary. So Gary asked, where are you 2 going? And Andy said, to my motherfucking office, what do you think? And Gary said, I'm coming with you. And Andy was like, no, you're not. He's like, I don't want y'all 2 talking. Oh, you don't want them comparing notes, sir? Is that what it is? You don't want that to happen? Now, Fatima came out and she was like, Gary, get the fuck out. And Gary looked at her and he's like, I'm here to see my attorney. She was like, Gary, if you don't get your ass the fuck out. And so Andy and, Penelope left. And so Fatima was once again telling Gary, get the fuck out. He's like, I have a standing appointment with my attorney. So Hayden brings his little bitch ass out, right? And Gary was like, yeah, see? And so Hayden was like, yeah, he's here to see me. And she was like, his office is over there. Go over there and get the fuck away from this office. And so Gary want to play hardball with Fatima. I was like, Gary, pipe down. He's like, oh, you a big dog, a bulldog? She said, yeah, and watch how hard I keep fucking with me, Gary, and you'll find out how hard I bite. I was like, come on, Big Tima. Come on, Big Tima. Y'all know I fucks with Fatima. I do get annoyed with Fatima when we get the angry black woman sometimes, but sometimes it is very much so warranted. And Gary's little punk ass, it was warranted. And then Hayden, little bitch ass, he gonna say, Yeah, Fatima, you gonna pay for that shit with Tamara. Hayden, who the fuck are you scaring? She already had you beat the fuck up. Go sit in the corner and sulk. Let Tamara run you, suck you dry. I'm here for it. Let's pause here and move forward. So Andy and Penelope went to her office, and Penelope is apologizing to Andy, and Andy's like, "You don't have to apologize to me. Like, I absolutely understand." And she's like, "Do you?" I was like, "Ma'am, she knew nothing about you." Now, Penelope has this, I guess, like a calendar or date book with her, and so she circled some dates, basically wanting to know if Andy was with Gary on these dates, because she's called Gary on quite a few occasions. Gary would answer the phone, but she heard other women in the background, and so Andy was like, "I was with him on this date, I was with him on this date, I was with him on this date, but I wasn't with him on this date or this date or this date or this date," right? And Penelope was like, "Okay." And she said, anytime I would ask him, he said he had, he was with a client that was a woman. And Andy was like, "Well, he does have some female clients." And Penelope was like, "No, that's not what it is." She said, "I knew something was off and I was right." And I'm like, "Andy, you're acting oblivious, obtuse, and stupid, because Leslie and her bad ass wig literally told you." I think there was also a white woman, if I'm not mistaken. I think there was a white woman that Gary was with. But Leslie and her bad toupee told you there were other women besides you. And you trying to sit here and pretend like you don't know. Maybe Tyler forgot. I don't know. But hey, it is what it is, right? And so Penelope said, "So this is your ring as well." It absolutely is her ring. That locking ring that Gary gave to her. Oh, we're going to get into that locking ring in just a minute, you guys, because Gary is a piece of shite. Now, Penelope is like, no. Andy said at one point, "We need to go get some answers." And Penelope's like, "I don't want to talk to Gary." And she was like, "Girl, we finna go over there and get some answers." And she was like, "No." And so Andy called Fatima. "Fatima, come here. What's up? We finna go over here where they are and get some motherfucking answers." And Fatima's like, "Girl, let's do it." And once again, Penelope's like, "I don't know." And Fatima and Andy like, "Girl, come on, we got your back. Like, let's go get some answers from this motherfucker, right?" So they went into the office where Gary and Hayden were. Hayden and Gary are both trying to tell them to get out of the office, right? And Andy mentioned, "Well, my new friend here, Penelope, she came to my office and she had a calendar and she wanted to know if I was with you, Gary, on certain dates. And I informed her that I was with you on some dates, but other dates I weren't with you. So that means you were with other women." And Fatima was like, you don't say, "Oh, piece of shit." And so Hayden is like, "You want to talk because of what you did with me and Tamara." Hayden, this is all I got for you, buddy. That is all I got for you. So once again, Gary's old raggedy ass sits here and tries to downplay Andy. "She ain't mean shit to me. I don't give a fuck about Andy. You the only one that I love, Penelope. I love you, baby. We got to worry about the baby." I was like, "Are you serious, Gary? You want to sit here and downplay her? Let's just run down the list of things lately that you've done with." Again, I'm going to run down the list of things lately. I'm not even going back to season 1, season 2, or season 3. I'm going here currently. You are trying to get Robin out of this company because of Andy. Well, actually, let's go back in time. You're trying to get Robin out of this company because of Andy. You spied on Andy in her penthouse. Like, Gary, for you to sit here and try to downplay Andy, but you've done so much shit to try to be with Andy, but Andy don't mean shit to you. How was that? A man that says, if you don't mean anything to me, I'm not going to go through all these hoops and hurdles to try to get you away from XYZ in person. I think, if I'm not mistaken, he had an issue with Paris, right? He had an issue, like, Gary, fuck out of here. The real caveat of this situation was when Andy mentioned Jasmine, right? Penelope knew nothing about Jasmine. I was like, "Are you serious? You didn't know he had a wife? No way. No way." That crazy bitch went after Andy. The crazy bitch went after Andy. And that's what Fatima said. She was crazy. And I'm so glad that Andy said it. No, she wasn't crazy. This no good motherfucker drove her crazy. I was like, you know what, Andy? There is something that we definitely 100% agree on. We agree on that. Oh, I also forgot to mention to you guys. So Penelope asked Andy, do you love Gary? She said, I did. Are you still in love with Gary? She says, no. She says, do you still want to be with Gary? She said, after last night, I sure the fuck don't. I was like, Andy, if you had said anything other than that, I would have reached with this TV screen and slapped the fuck out of you, because he literally called you, he downplayed you. And even in this scene, he basically called you a fucking hoe. Not in your face, behind your back. Pausing here and moving forward, you guys. Now, Fatima, Penelope, and Andy, they eventually left the office, right? When they left out the office, they were, Penelope is still upset. And Fatima was, they were like, I wonder what they're talking about. And Fatima said, they're talking about you. I think she was talking to Andy, that they're talking about you. And he was like, how do you know? She said, because I left my phone in there and I had my AirPod in my ear. And so she was like, no way. So she said, you want to listen? So she took the other one out and gave it to Andy, and they were listening. And Gary is the grimiest, most disgusting piece of shit around. We all knew that Gary bought this. So he literally admitted he buys the women the same ring. He doesn't intend to marry them. He said he wants Penelope because Penelope is weak. I was like, why would you want to be with a weak woman? But I thought about it. He wants to be with a weak woman because he feels like he can run over her and do whatever it is that he wants to do. So if he wants to go out and sleep with other women, he thinks that she's weak and stupid enough to stay with him. Whereas with Andy, she won't do it. And I love the fact that Andy told him, I was just basically using you for the car, the gifts, the apartment, all that shit. I was using you for it. And to an extent, I do believe at the later point, I do believe Andy was using him for that stuff. In the beginning, she wasn't. And so, yeah, he told her that. He said that and they were listening. And he said, when Andy is ran through, I was like, well, she must not be that motherfucking ran through that you had an issue with, you know, and we ain't saw hide nor hair. I don't think we're gonna ever see him again, you guys. I don't think we'll never see Rock and Robin again. But you had you really, like I said a few minutes ago, you did your damnedest to get Robin out of this company because he was sleeping with Andy. And I think the real reason is because if you can't have Andy, you don't want anybody else to have it. That's the real shit with Gary, a narcissist, right? And so after that, we move over to this. You guys, this shit with Karen and Jason Weaver's character, it's so weird. I don't know what's going on. I just want this shit to end because the realtor is coming down, and you guys know it's Zach's realtor, but I said it last week. I was thinking that commercial real estate and single family home real estate are two different things. They're not the same. Can you do both? Possibly, but I don't know too many people who do that. But that ain't got nothing to do with me. So this woman named Chelsea comes down and she knows him, and she was so unprofessional with Karen, talking about the fact that he's a good man, he ain't never cheated on his wife. Wait a minute, he brought you over here, you ain't got a car? Ooh, he don't get in the car with no other woman besides his wife. I was like, huh? What? I was just so confused. That scene just threw me. I wouldn't do business with that woman. Unprofessional as hell. Neither here nor there. Now, Fatima, she got home to Zach. Zach is telling Fatima that he wants to go over to Heather's crib and basically offer Heather, $100,000 for Michael. Fatima was like, Zach, don't do that because she's not gonna take it. She's gonna go up to $1 million. And Zach was like, okay, well, we can start low and then work our way up. I was like, Zach, with a hoe like her, and no shade to Heather, right? But Heather's a hoe. Like, we gotta call a spade a spade. All those men that done traipsed in and out of that apartment, the woman is a bona fide hoe. Nothing's wrong with a hoe. Nothing's wrong with hoes. I like hoes. So, no judgment. So Fatima said, you know what, Zach, if that's what you want to do, let's go and do it. Let's pause here, move forward. I guess we'll wrap up this episode, you guys. Sabrina. She called Danny once again to check and see if Danny wants to go on this double date. Danny once again told her no. She's telling Danny don't. She's repeating what she said earlier to Danny. If you like this guy, don't. Basically said the same thing that person said to her, that she sleeps with these men very soon, and it is true. Love you, Danny. Love you, Daniela, but you do sleep with men very quickly. Look at Jonah. Which, speaking of which, I think that was Jonah at the end of the episode. I'm jumping forward because there was a scene at the end of the episode where Danny went to her car, her window was busted out, and a man grabbed her like that. I believe it was Jonah. Also with Danny, you do not know Tony. I don't know why. Like, a red flag still doesn't go off in your brain that the man was eavesdropping on your conversation from the creeper van. But Danny likes it. I love it. I just want better for Danny. You don't give yourself you literally just broke up with Preston. You're not giving yourself any time to mourn that relationship. You're going to another relationship with a creepy ass man on top of that. Creepy ass Tony. That's all I got for that. And Maurice. Yo, what the fuck did Maurice have on? With his titties out, I hollered. He looked a fool in that outfit, but he made sure to let Sabrina know that she looked a mess in hers. I was like, y'all both look a goddamn mess. Maurice, take this shit out, and Sabrina, burn that shit. Like, I really want the wardrobe to stop dressing Sabrina in these tacky ass clothing. At this point, I think they're trolling us. I think that they're trolling us at this point for them to dress. Now, if those are black designers, I don't mean to be offensive. I really truly don't mean to be, but those clothes are just not the most flattering on Sabrina. Just being honest. Now, where are we at next? So Zach and Fatima went over to Heather's. This is a trifling ass old bitch. So she came out of the bathroom, and the way that she talks to that baby, it just grinds my gears. Then Zach and Fatima knocked at the door, and she didn't want to let them in. Typical Heather, right? But when Zach offered her money, that woman's ears perked the fuck up. I was like, are you serious? Like, you would $25,000. Then she said, you got the money. So ghetto. Then he came in, he said 50,000. Then he said 100,000. Then she said, I want $1 million. And so Fatima at one point went towards the bathroom, and Fatima was like, Zach, babe, come see this. Why did they go in the bathroom and that little boy was tied to the bathtub? I was like, I know you, well, the shower or something. He was tied to something in the bathroom. I was like, and she's like, because he gets up and walks away. Ma'am, that is not what you do to a child. Are you serious? Like, Heather is the worst. I mean, good God. And oh, Jesus. But yeah, you guys, that's the episode of Sistas. Let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comment section below, you guys. Subscribe to the channel, turn your post notifications, and also share the video, you guys. Until the next time, stay safe out there, you guys. Take care of yourselves, wash your hands, be blessed, and I'll see you guys in the next one.